Welcome to Mitchell Elf. Our theme this year is Adaptations, and this unit is Seed Dispersal, and this is Center 3, Seed Travel and Experiment Center. If you're new to ELF, this bin that contains most of the things you'll see in this video is located in the downstairs at Mitchell in the ELF closet. Taped to the lid, we always have the outline, so that can help you in case you leave your copy of the outline at home. And it gives you a list of what's supposed to be in this bin. It's super important that you clean everything up and put it back neatly and orderly so that the next class that uses it is all set to go. This center is also super important that you do a little extra care cleaning up because it's messy. So it'd be a good idea to find a spot and lay out the tablecloth that's provided, and find a space where it's okay to be messy. So, the objective of this center is to determine how a seed might travel and what features enable seeds to travel in different ways. So a day or two before you have ELF, you'll need to go out and collect some seeds. And the outline gives you some suggestions like cattails and fruit seeds and burrs and dandelions. I have some seeds here that I've collected along waterways and in parks around Golden. So you need a variety. You need things that are gonna float, you need things that are gonna stick, and things that are gonna travel in the wind, because those are the three experiments you're gonna be doing. So you're gonna ask the students to start with to examine the seeds with a hand lens, and those hand lenses are here in the ELF bin, and have them make some observations. What features do they think would help or limit the seed's ability to travel? You might ask them if it looks like the seed might stick to things or if it might easily float in a breeze. And then you're going to have the kids make a prediction about how each seed is going to travel. And then they're going to put their predictions to the following tests: the wind test, the hitchhiker test, and the water test. Located in the bin is a data chart, seed travel data chart. You can choose to make copies of this, so each student or pair of students would have a copy and they could record their own data, or for younger kids you might just record the data yourselves. This is laminated so you can easily record it, the data for the group, with dry erase markers that are located also in the bin. And in addition, there's a book on how seeds travel, so you might think about going over that before you start the experiments, just to get kids thinking about how things travel. So you have a fan to test, to do the wind test. You have a container with water in it, which you put water in for the floating test. And then you have some pieces of fabric or fur for the hitchhiker test. So for instance, I might take one of these milkweed seeds and put it in the water and see if it floats. And indeed it does float. So on my data chart, I would just write down a description of the seed, and I would, under water test, I would put yes, it floats. Then I might turn on my fan and see if it will fly in the wind. And that's really hard to do when I'm taping this by myself, but you get the idea. You record whether or not it does. And then I put it on my fur. Does it stick? No, not really. So it wouldn't pass that test. And so you do this for as many of the seeds as you had time to do. And then after a while, you want to make sure you save time to wrap up and talk about, and have the students talk about what they notice about the behavior of each seed. What characteristics did the seed that passed each test have in common? So hopefully more than one seed will float, hopefully more than one seed will fly, and so on and so forth. And you want the kids to talk about what they have in common, and therefore what adaptations they have that are helping them do those things so they can travel. You might have them talk about any travel tricks that were better than the others, and also have them talk about what methods of travel were better in different environments. It's important to have all the group members, all the kids, share their observations. Go ahead and let them just chatter away in an organized but fun way. And so if time permits, you could talk about trying to invent a whole new method of seed dispersal. You could talk about what a seed that traveled that way would look like, what adaptations it might have to make, and what environment it might live in. There's some handouts on the milkweed. That's this particular seed and seed pod. You do not need to collect more than one of these per class, and since they're super important to butterfly survival, we're trying to not use up too many of them for our unit. And I think that's about it. There's a measuring tape if you want to use to see how far the seeds travel. You can adapt this activity to the age level and interest level of the kids as you see fit. And so if you have any questions, you can email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com. And happy seed experimenting.